We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
Remember last week when we brought in that large haul of lumber and concrete footings? Well, we also brought in a few other large items for the interior. Well, now we have the kitchen counter stuff cleared away because we just returned from Home Depot and got ourselves some base kitchen cabinets.
Low rider.
Now, initially, we were going to build our own cabinets because I wanted a counter depth of 30 inches, which is far from standard, but I need a lot of countertop space because I make a lot of things from scratch, and having that extra counter space would be great. But we're so far behind in everything, and building something, especially when it's not standard, is just gonna take so much more of our time. So we thought, you know what, let's hit the brakes on that idea. Let's just go standard right now. I can make it work. So we did just that. The only caveat to this, though, is the lines that we put in, I'm doing this backwards, here and here, are set for the 30-inch counter space that we initially planned on. So now that we have the standard of, I think it's 24 or 25 inches, we have to see how that fits in with these standard base cabinets that we got. So we're likely to have to do some retrofitting, but either way, we're here, and next step, gotta do this.
Okay.
So that's where you're gonna have to make a cutout, right?
Correct.
We've been storing this range in our shipping container for some time. For so long, actually, that we sort of forgot what it looks like.
That was scary.
I was like, that is not a step.
But it's good that we decided to bring it over because we need to get everything lined up with the cabinet bases.
I forgot how this thing looks. Mira, para los tortillas. Eso, you know. Choo.
Now that we have an accurate account of where everything will fit in, we can finally finish off the interior window framing. So this one I had in there for position only. Do you want me to just put it back in?
Oh, let's put it in. It's the same.
It's the correct height. It was just...
Not just the correct height, it's the correct thickness too. So what's going to happen is that this is going to go right here. Boom, boom, right here. And this gap right here on the side doesn't matter.
Because we're covering it up with
Correct.
2 3/4.
Correct. So.
So they did all right. They did all right.
Yeah, you did.
Filling those in.
And then once we put the.
Can I move that dead fly? That's disgusting. Yeah. Well, now I have to clean it. Isn't it? Just the thought of that is so bad.
But so because we have the wall going this way, it's gonna stop at that wall. This one's the one that's gonna be sticking out, and you said you want her sticking out a little bit.
Yes.
We're better off doing this window first
Okay.
because I need to build this wall.
Okay.
We said that it was gonna come up to here or to here.
The first one, and then we have to take into account the roll down blinds because it's 60 inches, which will just fit outside the perimeter of the window.
The window right there. All right, so it's gonna be
A
return.
little higher?
Well, of course it's a little higher.
okay.
Just holding it. Well, you hold it.
I can get about halfway to here. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to do a little pulley. I'm gonna have to get one of those like claws, like just all the way down, or the.
We can
the
make
shape.
it like clap on, clap off. I need to build this wall, and then you.
So why don't I start with planing the cedar, getting it all nice and smooth?
We don't have to worry about planing it. We need to worry about cutting the lengths, and then once we have them mocked up, then you can plane them.
Because if you just plane it, there's less pieces to plane.
That is super quick.
If you plane it first, you only have to do so many pieces. If you plane it once they're cut, you're having to plane multiple pieces. Come on, it's efficiency.
Hiya.
Come on.
Hiya.
Nobody tell you I'm Ms. Efficient?
Hiya.
It sounds like a rapper name. Ms. Efficient. Dun, 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 dun. So the second coat of paint is on the base cabinets. I'm gonna put this paintbrush down now. It is a stain with a poly mix in there, so I don't have to do a varnish on top of it, so this will be good. I've got 2 coats. I don't know if you heard that, but that was thunder. I've got 2 coats on there, but I'm gonna wait until the morning to see if I wanna do a 3rd coat. The morning sunlight will help to determine that. Now, the color is called Vintage Blue. I was originally going to go with something that was a little bit more in like a muted sage green color, but when I don't know, I just saw this and I'm like, you know what? I think it's gonna work. And I really like it. So the reason why I wanted to do something in the bluish tone for our cabinets, number one, it complements the orange tinge of the cedar very well, but also because it reminds me of my grandparents' kitchen. So my grandfather, he was a very talented carpenter and painter. That was his trade. But just in his spare time, he would often make like these wonderful, wonderful items. And I'm very happy to have some pieces of his, one of them of which is actually the mirror that we have hanging in our restroom right now. I don't know if it's going to stay there, but I just love his work. It's very, very unique, very, very New Mexico also. But he would often paint with sky blues, turquoise blues. They would be a lot of like his accent color in a lot of things. So they had a lot of this in their kitchen, and it just takes me back to when I was a little girl, good times of, you know, just going over, and there was always fresh tortillas made. There was always some good green chilies, some eggs, some papitas, some, you know, possibly some beans. And it was just good times. So good memories. So it's a little bit of an homage to honoring them in our kitchen now. So yeah, sorry, I got a little choked up, but yeah, just for grandma and grandpa. Our butcher block countertop order won't be ready for another few days, so we're actually using leftover exterior siding for the time being. It actually sort of works. Since we can't complete the base cabinet installation until the butcher block is totally ready, I decided to focus on building some simple cabinets for the glasses, mugs, and books that we still have in boxes. And I'm just using scrap wood. So although my woodworking skills are improving, I am definitely very thankful for wood putty, wood glue, and sandpaper to hide all of the flaws. We finally got the call that the butcher block is in. So on my way up, I just came across a turkey on the side of the road. No point in wasting any time. Let's get her installed.
Yeah, Mike.
Ruben,
Yeah.
I'm driving the Cadillac 2008 CTS.
Oh, you did the transmission fluid flush?
No, it doesn't do it.
Oh,
I didn't see any hiccup. Question,
yeah.
can I put some seaweed in the gas tank like I do with others?
Yeah, but it won't cause the monitor to run. You just need to take a longer drive.
All right,
All right, Mike.
talk to you later. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. So today we are converting this stove to propane. To turn this into propane, we have to change these orifice tubes. These are big, which allow natural gas to mix with the air and create the fire to evenly burn. And propane, it requires a smaller orifice, so less fuel to properly burn. So got to change the orifice tubes so that we don't get that black soot when it's burning.
So it burns clean.
Yep. Okay, so this one's for natural gas. This one is for propane. If you see the holes there, one's bigger, one's smaller. So this one, it needs less fuel so it can burn clean.
We have countertops. They're fully installed on top of our base kitchen cabinets and everything feels fantastic. So even though we didn't go with the 30-inch depth that I had on my wish list, I'm very happy with this. We did get very far behind, especially when our irrigation lines broke, and it took a lot out of us. So we made the call to go ahead and just get the standard version that they have. We just got the Hampton Bay brand at Home Depot with the shaker cabinet doors, and this is engineered wood butcher block. We didn't build everything out that we had intended to, but I think this was the right move for the time being, because otherwise we would still be here like early September trying to figure out a countertop situation. I am working on some door handle knobs right now from some local material, so stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll have that in the next episode. We will be installing some drawer pull-out slides for basically every compartment here. And so there's still a few more things to do. This is a 7-foot countertop. We still have to install the sink here and then in the restroom back there. We purchased the sinks actually before we moved up here, so it was kind of fun to pull those out of the boxes and see what we actually purchased, because it had been so long. That was another surprise in addition to the range. So stay tuned for that. You'll see that. I don't know in the next episode. We have yet to see what we're doing next week. Like I said before, we're just playing it along week by week. with regard to the range, it is not hooked up. So we are still getting by with our camping stove situation. We have lots of camp stoves, backpacking stoves, and we're doing just fine with making pretty mean meals with what we have, if I might say so myself. So yes, and my coffee every morning, the good stuff. So what else did we do? Well, I was able to stain the deck and yeah, made the cabinets. How I tell time, AM, PM. Who needs a regular clock, right? And then we have up here the books. I am not a good Vanna White. Okay, there we go. So there's still quite a bit more to build out, but so far everything is coming along just fine. I am just very excited about this, and I'm happy that I got the deck sealed because we're expecting more rain today. And yeah, everything is just great. We're just getting more and more civilized step by step. Every week we get a little closer to being civilized people. So anyhow, very excited. We have been enjoying our deck almost daily now. And yeah, I'm just super happy. So thank you again for following along, for watching our crazy journey of building out this tiny home. We don't know what we're doing. And yeah, it's coming along though. It just takes a lot of patience, perseverance, and a darn good attitude at times. You've got to force it, I'm telling you. But it's all good. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.